I was very sexually immoral as a teenager. And it started early in my life, and it was very easy for me.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Voice of Truth. Today, we address a deeply significant and controversial topic that has recently shaken the evangelical community. Pastor Robert Morris, the founding pastor of Gateway Church, has been revealed to have had an inappropriate relationship with a young lady. This took place 35 years ago while he was both married and serving as a pastor. In the initial statement from the elders of Gateway Church, it states that Pastor Robert has been open and forthright about his moral failure he had over 35 years ago when he was in his 20s and prior to him starting Gateway Church. They later in their statement quoted what Pastor Morris told them, which was, "When I was in my early 20s, I was involved in inappropriate sexual behavior with a young lady in a home I was staying. It was kissing and petting and not intercourse, but I was wrong. This behavior happened on several occasions over the next few years." You can pause the video to continue to read. Well, an article came out by the Wartburg Post detailing exactly what took place. As we can see, this was not a young lady as Morris described, but a child. Again, please pause the video to read this article. This is what Cindy looked like when Morris began violating her. This is what she looks like now. Now let us listen to what she had to say regarding this.
And pretty devastating.
For Cindy Clemishire, seeing his influence grow has been difficult.
Or how on earth could anyone let him be in leadership when they knew what he did to me?
She was 12 years old when she says Morris began molesting her. He and his wife were friends of her parents who would often stay over. And the abuse, she says, continued for 4.5 years.
He said, "You can never tell anyone because it will ruin everything."
In a statement from the church this weekend, Morris admits to what he describes as inappropriate sexual behavior with a young lady for several years in his 20s.
Young lady? I was not a young lady. I was a little girl. I was 12.
The admission came after a blog called The Wartburg Watch shared Clemishire's story. Morris himself describes kissing and petting, not intercourse. Under current law, that's still behavior that could qualify as continuous sexual abuse of a young child, a crime punishable by life in prison. Clemishire says she eventually told her father, who demanded Morris step down from his position at a church that's now Gateway's Grand Prairie campus. Morris says for 2 years he did step down to receive counseling and ministry before returning in 1989 with the full blessing of the elders. Decades later, Clemishire says it's a relief her story is finally out.
Oh, I definitely think the consequences are probably starting. I mean, people know the truth. I know that there's got to be consequences.
In a statement, church elders said that Morris has been open and forthright with them about what they describe as a moral failure on his part, and that he has, in the decades since, quote, walked in purity. No criminal charges have ever been filed in connection to this, and it's unlikely any will be, as the statute of limitations has likely run out on any that could be. Reporting live here in Southlake, Andre Lucia, CBS News, Texas.
In light of what was detailed in the Wartburg Post and Cindy's statements, the elders at Gateway released a new statement stating that prior understanding was that Morris's extramarital relationship, which he had discussed many times throughout his ministry, was with a young lady and not the abuse of a 12-year-old child. Had they known the victim's age or the length of the alleged abuse, even though it occurred many years before Gateway was established, as leaders of the church, we regret that we did not have the information that we now have. Robert Morris was not truthful in his confession, which is why he had to resign. Stay tuned for part 2, where I will break down his sermon that has now gone viral. Please subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified when I upload that video. Before I go, I want to share this clip with you. Remember, when Morris did what he did with Cindy, he was in his early 20s, saved, and married. Listen to what he says here.
I was 19 years old when I gave my life to the Lord, and everything changed. I didn't have any desire to go back to that old life.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?